Hey everyone, this is Belle here. Bought myself a Christmas present this year. It's a Hardluck King's Southern Belle. It's a Telecaster style guitar, and I've seen a bunch of reviews. That's why I bought it, because I watched a bunch of reviews. But I'll tell you what, there's a couple things they don't tell you in the reviews, and the main thing is they never compare it to another guitar. They never pull out an American Telecaster and see what it sounds like compared to that. So I got one right here. I have a 2000 American Tele that I've been playing for years. Stock pickups, stock everything. And I got my pretty much stock Southern Belle. I'll tell you, there's one thing that I did change on the Southern Belle. When I first got it, strings were loose. The neck was straight. Luckily, the neck is really flat. It looks like an 11 radius or something high like that. It plays more like my Ibanez than it does like a Telecaster. But one of the things I noticed right off the bat, the intonation was a mess, and I looked down at the bridge and I noticed that the spacing between the strings, between strings 2 and 3 and between strings 4 and 5, were greater than the spacings between 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. And that's because the saddles that they chose to put on here were just too wide. So yesterday, I put my saddles in a vise and got a little hand file and filed them down. And they seem to be closer, but it needs a little bit more work. I'll probably work on that later. But that's pretty much the only thing I did to it right when I got it. I did notice right away that the bone nut, it looks like a mess. My low E string is sitting higher than my A string. My D string is sitting higher than my A string. It doesn't affect the playability at all. It just looks funny. So let's take a listen. Right now I'm playing through a Love Pedal Kalamazoo, which is an overdrive pedal. And I have a 50 caliber from Mesa Boogie loaded with 6L6s and just a 410 PV cabinet. So it's a mishmash of stuff. But this is the sound, this is the equipment that I use to make my American Telecaster sound good. So here's what the Southern Belle sounds like. This is the neck pickup, by the way. These are brand new strings too. Like you can still hear the crazy buzzing coming off of it. Not that it's fret buzz, but just the brand new string buzz. It seems to be holding tune okay. It's kind of cold down here in my basement right now, but the tune seems to be holding for the most part. It's the old rock and roll close enough, right? So here is the bridge position. It's got a cool rock and roll tone, but I'll tell you that it just doesn't have a whole lot of output, because I knew what I was expecting when I pulled out my American Tele, and I'll switch to that in a minute, and you're going to hear a big difference in the output. But the pickups themselves, I feel that they're matched to each other. So every review that I've seen so far had the pickups, had them playing through some sort of line 6 non-tube kind of amp, and you switch back and forth between the pickups. Not one is louder than the other. But I do feel that the neck pickup is pretty dead sounding. Let me switch to my American Tele. All right, so here's my American Tele 2000. I picked it up at a used guitar shop, $500. It was a steal. Let's try it how I always try to find my Fender guitars. But you'll hear right off the bat that it's just more lively. I'm going to start on the bridge or the neck pickup just like I did before. So the Tele it feels more like a baseball bat than the Southern Belle does. But it just depends on what you're looking for. And I'm kind of jumping around subjects here, but I want you to get the full idea of how I felt when I first picked up my $200 guitar, not even $200. So bridge pickup, you'll hear on the American Tele, it's just going to be a lot livelier and just louder. You'll hear more grit from my overdrive pedal. Go back to my Southern Belle. So it is a flatter neck on here, but the frets aren't quite as big. It looks like medium, not quite jumbo frets on here, and I don't know. The frets just feel bigger on the American Telecaster, but I think it's got some. It's got some potential for shred, you know. I guess I'll play some licks back and forth. You can hear the difference side by side. All right, well, you know, you make up your mind. It's a $200 or less endeavor for Hardluck Kings. It got here in no time. It got here in good shape. It was a playable guitar. Personally, I'm going to rip out the electronics and put in some new stuff. I might put on some new tuners. But other than that, this guitar is going to see the stage, and I'll be happy to play a Hardluck Kings guitar.